I think one thing that everyone that is playing Apex right now can agree upon is that the matchmaking system is completely broken. It doesn't matter if you're a pro player or a casual, you for sure have been affected by this, and it's actually driving players away from the game at alarming rates. So hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8 Second Gaming, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down some of the stuff going on with the matchmaking in Apex. But if you're sick and tired of getting played by the game's matchmaking and you want to start dominating lobbies on your own, then you need to check out the GameLeap website. Over there we have top level coaches creating the best, most highly informative guides, all to make you the best Apex player that you can be. It doesn't matter if you struggle with positioning, decision making, or aiming, you will find what you need over there. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, or I'll be in your dreams tonight. But okay, let's hop back into the matchmaking, and the first thing you have to understand about Apex's matchmaking system is that it's been broken for a while. There have always been issues with it, it's nothing new, but the big reason that people are mad at it this season is that it feels like it got turned up to 11 on the broken scale. Not only is it broken in pubs, but it's also really bad in ranked, where you have golds and platinums getting into predator lobbies. Now, I have seen some comments on Reddit and YouTube talking about how this is all the pros' fault because this is the system that they wanted. And yes, while it is true that high skill players wanted a more competitive environment for ranked, no one wants golds and platinums in their lobby when they're playing in predator rank. There are plenty of reasons, but a few of them mainly are: number one, you get less RP when killing them. Some predators are losing over 100 RP a game potentially, so when the stakes are that high, you want as much RP as possible from kills. And when a predator kills a gold player, they get next to nothing from it, so they would much rather have that kill be on someone of a higher rank to get more points from it. And number two, there is such a vast skill difference from gold to predator. The pros that are grinding rank don't want to be playing versus golds. They are using that time to practice when there aren't any scrims going on, especially in North America. NA has very low quality scrim games, so most pro and semi-pro teams opt to just play ranked instead. So when grinding out those ranked games, they would rather play versus people who are on the same skill level to get better practice in. Golds don't want to be fighting Preds just as much as Preds don't want to be fighting Golds. Now, of course, there are some high-ranked players that love going versus lower ranks because it's an easier kill, but other high-ranked players don't like those players just as much. In fact, there is actually a Twitter account built around calling those players out and letting the community know that they are abusing the matchmaking system. This Twitter account is called Sao Paulo Preds, and for those that don't know, on Sao Paulo server you get easier games compared to others, and it's very simple to climb there. So if you've ever heard someone called a Sao Paulo Pred, they are basically being called bad. Now, with all this broken matchmaking going on, what can Respawn do to fix it? Well, basically they just need to put a longer timer on filling games. The reason that plats and golds get pulled into these higher ranked games is because there is a lack of players at those ranks, so it takes a longer time to fill a game and get enough people to make those lobbies happen. So as the time goes longer and longer, they start to pull from diamond and then platinum and then gold until it's full. And obviously that system has a ton of flaws. Now, extending that timer or even just taking it out so that they don't pull from lower lobbies will result in those very long queue times, but those longer queue timers are worth waiting for in order to make sure that the lobby is filled with people that are supposed to be there. I remember back in season 2 and 3 playing Minecraft or even Fallout Shelter in between queues because they took so long. Sometimes we would wait for over 20 minutes to find a game, but the lobbies always had people that were in that rank and supposed to be there. So okay, ranked is broken, but what about pubs? A lot of people are going to pub games to try to escape the rank matchmaking, but I have some bad news for you. Pub games have just as broken of a matchmaking system, just in a different way. The matchmaking has been proven to set you up to fail in those pub games. This has been called engagement-based matchmaking, and it's what I know it as, but recently I've heard the term backpack matchmaking, so they're basically the same idea no matter what you've heard. In harder lobbies, the game will actively pair you up with two lower skill players in hopes that you will carry them so that they enjoy the game more. Now, Respawn devs have gone out on Twitter to say that they do not use this system, but Respawn devs have actually been caught lying on Twitter in the past about what they've done to the game, so you can't trust them, and actually evidence backs up the theory that engagement-based matchmaking is in the game. A while ago, there was a Reddit post by a user named Isteri. This was titled, "I solo queued 500 trios to learn more about Apex skill-based matchmaking." Now, in that post, he went into great detail talking about his experience. He talked about stuff like his average damage compared to his teammates' average damage, his max kills compared to his teammates' max kills, and many other things as well. And there were a lot of fantastic takeaways from this specific post. For starters, out of these 500 games that he played, he only won 57 of them, giving him a win rate of 11.4%. Also, in 6.7 of these games, he didn't receive one or both teammates, and out of those games with no teammates, he did not win a single one of them. And in 23.8% of the games, Isteri also had a teammate leave while their banner still had time left on it. So if you were to minus the games with no teammates and where teammates quit the game, his win rate only was about 13%. It did go up from the original number, but that's still pretty low in my opinion. Now, to be fair, the original poster did theorize that he would have won at least 11 more games if he had a full 3-stack, just based on having all teammates alive at the end and not quitting out like some randoms do. So that's only based on having those teammates alive at the end or not quitting. What if they are also decently skilled players that can hold their own and you're not having to carry them? Well, there was actually this really nifty graph that he included in the Reddit post showing that it was more likely that he was going to win if he did more damage than his teammates. So this just goes to show how hard of a carry that the game wants you to be for those random teammates. So when you're 3-stacking and not having to carry teammates and they're carrying their own weight, you'll actually have a much higher chance of winning, and that's not even including the comms, that's just including the teammates being a lot better than randoms. Now, there is a ton of information on this Reddit post and it is insanely detailed, but the main point of it is even in pubs, if you aren't 3-stacking, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage, and no matter what you do, the game seems like it wants you to lose. So yes, action needs to be taken soon by Respawn or they risk losing a lot more of their player base, and the game will start to see a rapid decline of retention. Obviously, I want to see Apex succeed. It's my job after all, so I'm really hoping they make some changes soon and we start to see some players coming back to the game. But now I want to see what you guys think. If you were to tweak the matchmaking system at all, what would you do to it? Would you leave it alone, or would you take skill-based matchmaking out completely, or maybe there's a middle ground that you see? Let me know in the comments down below. But with all that being said though guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did and you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm MATCHMAKING Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.